Hey everybody, so Watachi and the Fakawi four-wheelers here. You can see what I'm doing, or, well, you can see I am attempting to do some things here. But my old 1998 Jeep, you can see everything's rusted real good. Well, I'm getting ready to put on them shocks right there. Skyjacker shocks, and falling into a couple of different problems with braking bolts. See this one right here? Snap that one clean off. And then the two that holds this one up in top there, both of them snapped off. So I've had to come up with some ways to get that stuff out of there so that I can do the repairs on it. Now, one of the things I had to wait for and to get are these things right here. And the bolts at the top of the rear shocks here that broke off, the nuts are basically welded to a subframe up in there, and you can't get to them. So you gotta basically hammer them out, and then you can stick this up in the subframe and then give you new mounting nuts to hold the top of your shock in. Now this whole thing will stay up in there once I get the shocks mounted. So I had to wait for those. Also, I had somebody that bought me this because I'm needing to get some air tools going again. Get too old to try to wrench this with my own hands. But as you can see, it's a Sears Craftsman. It's not brand new, folks, by any means. 5 horsepower, 25-gallon tank. This is all I need. Plugged it in. Took about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Air all the way up. Cut itself off. Holds the pressure. I can't complain. He said the guy was selling it for $75, and he talked him down to $50. So he gave him the $50 and gave it to me. Wasn't nobody in my family, folks. Wasn't none of my loved ones. Just somebody out of the blue. Actually, they gave me a $50 tip yesterday. I don't even know who it was. I thanked them on the app, but I ended up buying that off of the tip. So they actually bought it for me. Now, we're going to get us some air tools going here in the next few weeks there. But let's do this. Flip the switch here. Hey everybody. Wanted to talk a little bit. I wanted to start off with some of this so you guys can see what I'm dealing with. And it's something that I do basically as a hobby. I love to go out four-wheeling. I use it for fishing and stuff. And I do all the work on it myself. And for my whole family. That's one of the hats I wear is a head mechanic. But I don't deal with major shit. I don't do no more. I don't pull motors and trannies no more. I've done it in the past, especially with these old Jeep Cherokees. One of the first Cherokees I had was just a two-door. I bought it with a blown motor in it, and I was actually able to drive it home about 3 miles down the road, but it had white smoke coming out of it like a freight train. So I drove it basically straight home, pulled it in my garage, and my garage was set up, people. I had a big upright 80-gallon tank compressor. I had sandblasters, sandblasting tank that I could put stuff in and sandblast it down. I built all that myself. My garage was packed, roll away with all the tools I needed. What do they call them damn cherry pickers. I had cherry pickers and motor stands, and so I pulled that. I think it was a '89, if I'm not mistaken, 2-door, and my buddy had a wrecked 4-door around the same year, but the motor was good. Just it was wrecked. What you wasn't gonna fix it. So I bought that Jeep Cherokee from him, and I pulled the motor out of it and put it in the 2-door that had the blown motor in it, and then junked the other body in the motor, and I ended up trading that Cherokee in on a Rubicon Wrangler. Now I didn't keep the Wrangler, the Rubicon. I didn't have it 3 days, and I was just driving down along it was next to a White River in Indianapolis. Shoot, I was a good 50 yards, 100 yards from the water. And it sunk down in the mud, and it took us 4 hours of shoveling and winching. I didn't have an electric winch. We had a come along. Oh man, I took that thing right back. That $30,000 Jeep? No, you better not get stuck on me. I ain't never had a Cherokee stuck. Not yet. Now there's some places it won't go, but I ain't never had a Cherokee stuck. And I'm talking deep snow, water. I've driven through water, whether coming rolling over the hood. I've done all kinds of stuff with them. But I've owned about 3 Wranglers, and every one of them I got stuck in it. So somebody told me, well, you need to buy you a Rubicon. They're locked up and shit. Didn't have it a few hours. 3 days. And I took it back over there. My damn Cherokee that I traded in, that 2-door that I put the motor in it, they'd done so lit to a mechanic out that worked in their shop for, I don't know, $400 or $500. He done took it home. I had 7 days to make up my mind whether I wanted to keep it or not. They already sold my Jeep. So when I took it back, I told them I wanted my Cherokee back. They about shit. They had to go get it and bring it back. Give it back to me. But people, my main channel, Watachi Running Free, I now got another. They took it down. You guys, as well. You guys all know, I'm sure by now. But I've got another channel up called Watachi Still Running Free now. We need to get get the subs up on it so I can start doing lives again. I like to do the live streams. But people, one of the reasons why they shut it down is because I was talking about, everybody's celebrated yesterday and this whole weekend, the 4th of July. And, the 4th of July was our Independence Day, folks. Our Independence Day gave us the Republic, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and our freedom, and our freedoms. Yeah, it gave us our freedoms. People, nowhere in any of those documents, not the Bill of Rights, not the Constitution, none of it does it talk about a democracy. It talks about a republic. This is what I was talking about on my other channel when they shut it down. They shut it down because I'm telling you, people, they keep you believing that the Constitution is in place. They keep you celebrating the 4th of July when you are a conquered nation. Your Constitution hasn't existed since the beginning of the Civil War when they declared martial law. They never gave it back. And after the war, they signed the Act of 1871, which brought in the Federal Reserve. Later came the IRS, where you can no longer own property of any kind if you live within the borders of the United States. Now, people from high-ranking people from other countries, they can come here and buy land and own it flat outright. Don't have to pay the government any taxes on it. But not if you live here and you're a citizen. You can't. You will always owe them money. So I was asking, what are you guys celebrating? What are you celebrating? Because you claim to be celebrating Independence Day, but you call yourself a democracy. Look back through the history, folks. Nowhere when we were, at the time that we were fighting for independence, all the way up to 80 years after that, were we ever claiming this to be a democracy. Even Benjamin Franklin, that was a part of the forefathers, when they come out of signing all the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that, and they opened up the doors and came out because they locked themselves in the building, folks, until was done. When they opened the doors and came out, the people was asking them, "What have you done? What have you done?" And Benjamin Franklin told them, "We've given you a republic for as long as you can hold on to it." It only lasted 80 years, folks. It was gone. That's why you call yourself a democracy today and not a republic. The Pledge of Allegiance talks about a republic, not a democracy. Why do you think they stopped making kids say the Pledge of Allegiance? You can't train them to say the flag stands for a republic and then stand around calling it a democracy all the time. Look up on Google what the difference between a republic and a democracy is if you don't understand. You people are a conquered nation. You're no longer a republic. You're not even a democracy. That's just what they claim you are. You are a corporation owned by the Federal Reserve and the IRS inside the corporation of the United States. The government is a corporation. You're a corporation. The land is a corporation. And if you don't believe that, just drive in and out of your cities where you live, and then you'll see where it says stuff like Boardman Corp limits, Campbell Corp limits, Youngstown corporate limits. People, that's corporations. You are governed under maritime admiralty law. That's law of the sea, not law of the land. Law of the land is God's law. It's when our forefathers put the Constitution in place, that was to protect God's law and tell the government what they could and cannot do. The Constitution does not give you rights. God gave you rights. And even the atheists get the privileges of having those. So, I asked, what are you celebrating? You're not celebrating Independence Day. You don't even call yourself a republic anymore, and you're begging the government to lock you down, shut you down even more and more. Look at what they did last year, folks. Do you feel like you're free? Well, that's all I'm going to say about it. They got one channel shut down. I don't need to do that with this one too, but people, always remember God loves us all. And I love you too. Make no mistake about that. And there's only one way out of this, and that's through Jesus Christ. Please, if you don't have Jesus in your heart, I pray that you find him. Knock on that door. Let him bring you in before it's too late. People, look around what's happening in this world today. Everything that's happening, it's stated in Revelations. Every bit of it. Please seek Jesus and the Word and the way. For that's the only way out of this. Have a good one now. Till next one.